So real quick, I wanted to talk about the expenses of building a camper van like this and some of the pros and cons. This Ford Transit Connect, I think, is a pretty good option if you're not super savvy with cars and you just want something that's a little bit more reliable. It's going to be better on gas. And honestly, this build that I did was actually pretty inexpensive. So I bought this van last year and it cost me $5,000. It did take a little bit of time to figure out the design that I wanted to use for this camper van build. And again, I didn't want to build out this van with like a kitchenette or some kind of bathroom or anything like that, because again, this was never going to be a van that I was going to live in long term. This was for overnight trips and road trips. So that made it a little bit easier to prioritize what I really wanted in this van. And what I really wanted was a dry and safe place to sleep, as well as have a lot of storage for all my camping gear. One thing that I should mention is that even though this build was pretty simple, I did have the help of my dad, who is a craftsman, and my mom, who's a seamstress. So they kind of helped me take what I wanted and actually make it a reality. So I wouldn't say that a van build like this is impossible to do if you're not good with building things or sewing stuff, but it definitely makes it a lot easier if you have people in your life that can help you with that kind of stuff. And there's definitely better ways to make an extending bed, and there's a bunch of people who have done it already online, but I just wanted to do it this way because, again, I wanted to be able to set up this bed while still remaining inside of my van. So now let's talk a little bit about the pros and cons of this Ford Transit Connect. As far as the pros go, it is a bit taller, so I can actually sit down in this van and not have to like tilt my head or anything like that. This van is pretty small, so it's the size of like a minivan basically. These vans are also relatively inexpensive. So again, I got this for $5,000 and it had only like 120,000 miles on it. And this is also relatively good on gas. I've gotten like 24 miles to the gallon on the highway with this van, so that's pretty good, especially if you compare it to the last van that I had, which was a Ford Aerostar. I got like 14 miles to the gallon on that thing. So I think one of the biggest cons with this van is that this is a 4-cylinder engine. So whenever you're going uphill, you're going to be going slow. Like I can't go over 50 if I'm going on a slight incline. So traveling around Arizona and Colorado where there's a lot of hills, that can be kind of annoying because you'll have semi trucks passing you. But there's a lot of potential for upgrades with this van, which I really like. And it still is a small enough rig that I can use it as my daily driver, which I currently do. I think my light's fallen. I will be doing some upgrades in this van, so definitely stay tuned for those. And I also kind of want to show you some more of the camping gear and van gear that I use to camp in colder conditions up here in the Northwest. Camping can be a real pain in the ass if you are a tent camper. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to get a van like this, so that my wife and I could still go camping, but stay dry and warm and happy. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section, and I'll catch you next time. Later.